What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another installment of the Saturday Shenanigans here across the reliable networks, the Casa D18 Studios, the Simple Man's Brand, the J. Hebert Studios. It is I, your host and moderator for the evening, the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams. How is everybody doing this evening? Good to see you guys start filing into the chat room. We got Daniel in the house. Another Saturday night shenanigans are upon us. Sometimes going off the rails can happen. Just glad to be able to watch the virtual insanity that may occur before I watch my Detroit Lions. Well, virtual insanity is definitely a good way to put it, Daniel. We are just standing by awaiting the arrival of the MVP of the streams, the man with the voice, Noah Foster. What's good, Goat? Good to see you. The simple man with the spectacular voice will be here momentarily, and once he pops in, we will get started with the shenanigans and the topics at hand. We've got 4 topics we're going to go through today. We're going to discuss Victory Road and some of the fallout from last night's TNA pay-per-view. We're going to discuss WWE cutting down on live events next year. We're going to discuss one fan's opinion as to why AEW is losing viewers, and more WWE and AEW comparisons. Of course, if you are a fan of UFC and Ultimate Fighting, you can tune in to our stream as the Heebman James Hebert and Mr. Reliable are calling the action for UFC Noche, the simultaneous stream going on across the channels. So if you're into that, just go ahead and tune in to that. Or you can watch both streams, multitask. That should always be fun to, see how that goes. Again, I am stalling, just awaiting on the simple man with the spectacular voice, Noah Foster, to get here. He's booting up his computer. Has a little bit of a sinus headache, but he said that he was still going to be here with me, and I do appreciate him for that as always. And as a matter of fact, while we wait for Noah to pop in, let's see what is going on over on the UFC watch along. Give me 1 second here, and we will pop in and do a little share screen. YouTube ads, gotta love it. There we go.
The Contender Series.
Okay, the Contender Series. Yeah, that's the new with, right?
Yeah.
Got it. So yeah,
Melberger to win by knockout is a plus 350 underdog. So if he wins by knockout, you get
a lot
for betting 100. That's crazy,
dude. That's absurd.
So it looks like right now over there on the UFC watch along, you got Zell Huber versus Ribovix. Hopefully, I pronounced
like this guy. Right. Like you got to imagine everybody that's on this card tonight, especially the Latino people, man. They have got a huge chip on their fucking shoulder.
What's going on, Matt?
They got to
see you as always.
This is the future of MMA right now. The all dogs are starting to come out. John Jones is about to retire soon. Stipe retiring. All the old people. I don't know what's going on with Izzy. Like Anderson Silva's gone. It's like this whole new generation.
I gotta be honest with you.
I agree with you, Daniel. I'm also looking forward to the Joker sequel, even though I've already heard some less than stellar reviews about it and how it doesn't really expand on anything from the first movie. Haven't seen any of the Venoms, I don't think. Not, I think, take that back. I did see the first Venom. Didn't see the second one. Again, sorry for the delay, folks. Just waiting on Noah to get here so that we can begin the topics. Good to see everyone joining us. Got 8 viewers so far. Greatly appreciate all you guys tuning in. Hell of a time to be a wrestling fan, that's for sure. All the stuff going on in the different companies. JD Ultra stopping by. What's up, JD Ultra? What's up, Safet? Good to see you. It's go time. Yep, just like I keep saying, just waiting on Noah to get here. As soon as he does, we will get into things. Should be here momentarily. He just sent me a message. That's why I went quiet there. I do apologize for that. Dead air sucks. That's a fair question, Daniel, and we'll get there in just a moment. Where is Noah, JD? Well, say his name and he appears because we believe in Noah Foster. We believe in Noah.
I'm tired. Oy.
Well, it's good to see you nonetheless, brother. How are you doing this evening?
I literally woke up 2 minutes ago from taking NyQuil stuff. So yeah, I'm all right though. It's been a long ass Saturday. But hey, happy to be here. And I'm sort of awake, so hopefully this stays underneath the span of a Monday Night Raw as it's been the last few weeks. It's been Chris Saturday Shenanigans, but good to see y'all once again. JD, shout out to the ATW fam. Good to see JD and everybody in the chat as always. Bye.
Well, what was on your agenda today that made it such a long Saturday? I mean, I know for me, my Saturday pretty much consisted of a normal Noah Foster routine. I woke up, had to run an errand. I watched Victory Road since I worked last night. I just got done watching Collision, which I never watch, but between Jack Perry versus Christopher Daniels and FTR versus the grizzled young vets, it definitely had my attention enough to tune in for the show. So, my Saturday was just all the wrestling like Noah Foster. So
pretty much same thing. Just lay in bed, sit back, watch wrestling, rest, watch wrestling, rest, watch wrestling, rest. I save collisions nowadays, usually for Sundays when I got nothing else on and nothing to do. Like I won't have tomorrow when I come home from Visions conference. So it's just been long because I've been up literally since fracking 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and napping in and out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll get this show on the road then, and maybe we'll be able to get out of here early. It also depends on the UFC watch along, how quick the fights go, how quickly James and Walter are able to join us, and when Datilla pops in. She has said that she will be here just late as normal, so we'll see when she enters the command center. Her wrist communicator may be broken, so she may have to teleport in via other means.
They're going to get something off of freaking Amazon.com as a backup.
But I wanted to start off talking about Victory Road.
All right.
Last night was the latest TNA pay-per-view offering, and we are now officially on the road to Bound for Glory in Detroit, a show that you may or may not still be attending. Got a bigger question mark hovering overhead on that one than the Riddler does in the Gotham City night sky, but I digress.
Fair enough.
Those of you that have seen Batman Forever and catch that reference. But all in all, I thought it was a pretty solid show. I mean, I didn't get to watch it with your excitement and Walter. I actually just watched it with the legit commentary because I wanted to hear everything that was going on and kind of take it all in. But my biggest takeaway, Noah, people have been clamoring for Moose versus Obafemi, and it still has not happened. It may never happen, but my wish came true at Victory Road as we finally had Santino Marella and Ariana Grace, father and daughter, interact with each other.
Yep. I was like, Jada got his wish. It literally happened. I was just waiting for him to bring up that moment. And plus, Tom Hannafin and Matthew Raywald outside Nigel McGuinness and Tony Giovanni and Ian Riccaboni and Chris Coleman, they are the commentary teams I legitimately listen to all naturally. The rest of them, I'm like, bleh. But anyway, yeah, I mean, literally, I knew that you were definitely going to talk about that moment. And the system didn't completely fail, but it's not back to full power yet either. And it was a tremendous 3-hour pay-per-view show, right down to the very wire. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, when it comes to my overall passionate outtakes as professional wrestling, I put everything above one particular company, but TNA right now is definitely jockeying for my number 2 position. But overall, it was a great way to really set the pace for what's ahead and who could truly be bound for glory. I love the show. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm sitting here and I'm watching it back this afternoon and I'm like, called that. Yeah, I was like, dude, how is it that I'm doing so well in the TNA leagues and I suck donkey balls in my NXT, damn it.
I guess
Like, did I or did I not call the fact that Masha and Alicia were going to lose the belts? Did I not call that the system was going to get the tag belts back?
You did.
Like, maybe not by the exact same means that I called it, but like I was on point here.
You pretty much were.
I was sad to see Steph DeLander's speech though.
Yeah, that was the one thing I did not expect to hear or see that night. But it goes back to what we talk about sometimes here and what I always try and encourage people to do. Prayers are passions, protect your mentality, the fragile nature of the wrestling business, and every worker when it comes to the pressure they feel to maintain their spot, to do themselves proud, and to do those that support them proud can definitely be what puts them in a hospital, and she needs to go to a hospital. I'm glad she's realizing that, if that is indeed truly what was the case, because you don't know tomorrow's never guaranteed. You sure as hell don't know if your neck can withstand a delay on an overdue surgery. Oh, Brian Danzig. So I absolutely wish Steph DeLander the utmost best in recovery. And like she said, it's not goodbye, it's see you later. So may her and Kylan King, who's still out injured, come back soon and stronger than ever.
Kylan King, who's out, or no, that's Killer Kelly. My bad.
Killer Kelly
almost made a botch there. I had to catch myself.
You caught yourself.
The one thing I do wish, as far as Steph DeLander goes, and maybe it's just me being selfish as a fan, I wish that she had maybe slowed it down a little bit so that we still could have gotten her and PCO at Halloween Havoc. Like I feel like that is just so made for them, especially while this partnership's going, because who knows, come next year Halloween Havoc, the partnership may not exist. And the French Canadian Frankenstein, the perfect creation, his bride showing up at Halloween Havoc, like I just feel like it was right there on a silver platter.
Yeah.
PCO versus Obafemi, make it happen.
Someone needs to
at Halloween Havoc.
Someone needs to beat your ruler eventually, but it is one of those things where as fans, we do have these desires for what we want to see, but sometimes you can't always get what you want, and there are reasons you truly don't get what you want, but at least those you care about get what they need. And I think that's definitely the situation when it comes to Steph Delander. And hello, Eileen. Shout out to the Dominguez. Yeah, and again, I'm keeping track of all 5 leagues. So, yes, you are doing quite well. So is Ashley. So is Kimberly. Shout out to Canadian Royalty on the Twix. Show my horsemen. It's definitely a horse race, to say the least, for a number of people across the leagues, particularly this gentleman when it comes to the best league he's doing in, which again, yes, indeed, it is TNA.
Mind numbing to me, the fact that I'm doing so well.
Well, you got 3 shows left for TNA.
Yeah, we'll see how things develop, but I mean, anything else that you want to add as far as Victory Road goes? Anything that surprised you? What do you think about Speedball getting the title back? I saw some people that were like, so WWE basically just didn't want Speedball Mike Bailey on No Mercy. They wanted Zach Wentz, who used to work for the company, and then he dumped the belt again.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020. I don't think like that. But I do.
I don't think it's that either. But it's it's an interesting way to look at it, and find many of the things that we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view. Quote Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Fair enough. Definitely, match of the night was definitely the X Division, which again, that is the showster, that is the precipice, that is the standout for the alternative wrestling business, that is TNA. You couldn't find a better, purer, more driven match. 2 men to prove a point in what it truly means to demonstrate there are no limits. Zachary Wentz testing his Bushido and his fighting spirit against Speedball Mike Bailey, putting all of his focus into that match and giving absolutely 110%. He was worthy of calling himself X Division champion and will definitely have it again. But there's a reason why Speedball Mike Bailey has been voted by the TNA faithful, including me, 2 years in a row, X Division Athlete of the Year. He is Mr. X Division of this generation. And soon enough, I think he also will be the face of TNA. Poetic justice and the humbling as well. We have to appreciate that Joe Hendry submitted Josh Alexander in an ankle lock. If you don't believe in Joe Hendry now, you're still absolutely foolish. You know who you are, King and Aaron Riff. That being said, besides that, again, I mean, a lot about Victory Road was about those claiming victory and proving a point in the utmost highest form. Speedball Mike Bailey, Joe Hendry, Spitfire on Do or Die, and Nick Nemeth, who finally beat the system for the first time in his damn life. It was definitely, again, a phenomenal show. The fact that Wendy Chu and Rosemary dropped the Knockouts World Champion again after Wendy Chu put up arguably the best match since he came back. It's one of those things where I do wonder now, where you go from here? Are we going to get Rosemary and Jordan Gregg? Because we know Rosemary still exists in TNA, but these two are still a plague to both NXT TNA. So good luck to the liaison controlling this. And besides that, AJ Francis flopped more than I didn't know he could flop, especially trying to be the charismatic enigma. That was a sight. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, besides that, I think about just the whole show, again, as a whole. Perfect length, great quality, great match results. A couple things that I was like, what the hell? And John Layfield can still deliver a clothesline from hell. Who knew?
Definitely. You said his name, and while I don't have his graphic in here or the song to make him appear, I do want to point out, because I was just browsing the internet earlier, he has a shirt on Walmart.com.
Walmart believes in Joe Hendry.
And under his name, it says Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's an NXT crossover shirt.
Oh, good Lord. That's just a matter of time to be on both TNA shop and NXT WWE shop.com. I guarantee that to you.
And apparently you can buy his shirt at Hot Topic now too. It's the first time a TNA wrestler has had a shirt at Hot Topic since 2006.
What a time we live in. Again, never been a greater, more optimistic time to be a professional wrestling fan. And Joe Hendry is the guy right now in the business. Don't at me. I mean, again, it's just a wonderful thing. And kudos to him. I mean, again, he worked his entire life for this point. define in TNA wrestling. It's a really great stuff. So again, just Victory Road, simply put, simplify and take. It was an amazing show. And Moose and Nick Nemeth left it all out there in that main event for sure. They definitely were worthy of closing that show.
Absolutely. Apparently, JBL made a surprise appearance at MLW Fightland, whispered something to Brock Anderson, and left as well. I wonder if he's trying to be a Nick Fury of sorts and assemble his own Avengers.
I mean, he's been now to MLW, TNA, AAA, GCW, OVW. The only place he hasn't stepped foot in was literally his former place of employment, WWE.
Yet.
Fair.
He also hasn't stepped foot in AEW.
Okay, if he does that, then I know that the business is truly unthinkable. He'll be the paradigm shift bigger than John Moxley was in 2019. And that's a whole different WTF right there with Grand Slammer on the corner. So much wrestling. But yeah, I mean, I watched Stardom. I watched TNA Victory Rollback. I watched NJPW because the Destruction Tour is going on. Shout out to Doki and Taiji Shimori for an incredible match in Hinare versus Hiromu Takahashi. And of course, I just, I went back in archives and I watched older Bound for Glory, prepared for that. I watched last year's Wrestle Dream. And again, throughout the day, I just napped and ate pork loin. So there you go. And literally, if it wasn't for the fact that I had my 3 alarms literally around me, you would not have me right now on this screen.
Well, I do appreciate it, because if you hadn't popped in, I probably would have had to cancel. There's no way I could have done this solo. And tried to make it's one thing to do my reviews solo and go about 20 minutes. It's another thing to try to carry all of these topics solo with nobody to bounce it off of.
You got the chat. We got the faithful chat of the Simply Reliable Network. And shout out to the faithfuls. Like we said, the Dominguez's, Safety, Matt, Daniel. And again, they're the ones that also encourage us and keep us going. They are the heart and soul, the backbone for our passion. To the newcomers we've seen lately to the Reliable Network, included those last night. Thank you to Norris and the hater. I'm sorry, I forgot your YouTube name. And I see some new ones tonight. I see Goat. I know New York State of Mind's been here before too. Again, it's the chat that makes this all possible. That even in our most, let's just call it what it is, destabilized mental and physical state, sometimes just usually due to elements or just due to life, it is what it is. They are the reason that we keep going. So to everybody out there that I'm actually looking at the chat panel, thank you. But JJ, also thank you for that kind words, but also thank you for being the moderator to the madness that has become an evolved Saturday Shenanigans. And I'm just happy to be along for the ride since this established out of a genesis from a post-show discussion at the Turning Point 2019. 2019. So there you go. And there's our favorite username.
Yes, 26.2 miles outside Parts Unknown is here. What is up, sir?
When are you going to be actually in Parts Unknown? I'm just saying. Come on. Hey, we have bought a Saturday Shenanigans. You need to find your Parts Unknown. I'm just saying. But yeah, again, guys, God bless you and thank all of you. Here's the fall season. And again, there's 3 shows left in TNA. There's 3 shows left in AEW. There's 3 shows left in WWE. There's, technically speaking, based on what I know from past scheduling, I gotta imagine 2 shows, maybe 3, left in NXT. And we got 1 more show left in ROH. So there's still a whole lot left for 2024.
Absolutely. And UFC seems to be giving shows every other week for Walter and James to be occupied in.
Those crazy yutzes. But anyway, yeah. TNA.
Moving on.
Go ahead.
Moving on, the first official topic that I wanted to bring up is that apparently WWE is looking to cut their live event schedule.
What?
I saw this post from Russell Ops and screenshotted it. It says TKO president Mark Shapiro states that WWE will be cutting down on live events even more next year, and explains taking on less of the marginally profitable events. Quote, what we're doing is cutting events at WWE. So we're taking our low, marginally profitable events, untelevised events that Vince had put in place to grow the brand, right? You're taking the show on the road, and we got to go to every city we can get to grow the brand. Well, the WWE brand, while we still have to grow it, it's on fire right now. So we don't need to carry these marginally profitable events. So what was 300 events last year will be roughly 250 this year, and next year will be close to 200.
Wow.
All I'm thinking of is the talent here, and that's got to be great for them because it means less matches they have to work, more time at home, less likelihood of injury.
Yeah. I mean, when you look
You know,
at it,
heaven forbid these people actually get to, do what you're always talking about and have priorities as well as their passions, which helps to protect their mentalities.
exactly. I mean, AEW came into existence with this mindset of we're not going to do house shows every daggum week of the year. We're going to offer a much more flexible schedule to allow you to pursue other projects, to allow you to be with your family. WWE, who literally have been the branding juggernaut and have been so more than ever, with Triple H actually being a human being and having much more of an open-minded mentality and a caring passion for family values versus business. Damn it. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think WWE would actually cut down their house show, live show routine, especially with the fact they've gone more global than ever. Maybe now with the fact they're doing these global, international, monthly PLE spectacles, that just lends to the fact that they don't have to put as much production out there for the roster to bust their ass 300 days a year. A lighter grind. Hey, there's something for you. Look at a humble pie. But I mean, yeah, but I think my other thing is also it does, I think, hurt a little bit of that talent that doesn't get that TV time and probably get more time on the road. And now they will be less exposed. So you only can hope that this will mean restructuring, not budget cuts, for the roster to be more cycled out and rotated for something within the WWE landscape on screen TV, especially with NXT now going to broadcast television here. I'm hoping it means more possibilities, but yeah, to think they're actually going to cut down their live show run, that's definitely a strategy I never thought WWE would try and implement, considering, again, money. And I don't think it costs them money necessarily to do it. But again, what you read, marginal. If it's not that lucrative for the brand, why keep doing it to such a heavy extent? Honestly, I imagine the entirety of WWE as a whole is probably very happy about that. I certainly am for them.
Yeah, it just goes to show the difference between the Paul Levesque era and the Vince McMahon era.
Bar none.
And I think considering the fact that Triple H was a wrestler for a long time, some 20 years in the game.
Yeah.
Give or take. He's lived the other side of this. Whereas most promoters may have dabbled their foot in the business, but never really been the bumpers. I don't think Jerry Jarrett had matches. We know Jeff did, but I don't think Jerry did. We know Vern Gagne did. Vince didn't until way later.
Right.
Vince Sr. never did.
No.
Jim Crockett never got in the ring. Bischoff did much later in goofy matches, more comedy matches more than anything.
Keyword,
But like Triple H being really one of the few to be a wrestler first and then make that transition, I think he understands. Plus the fact that he's a husband, a father of what, like 3 girls?
I believe so with Stephanie. And also, I think the fact that he literally had a life threatening situation has put a whole different statement on the perspective of human life for him, too. You don't come back the same after that. I remember that day that he did that interview with tears in his eye because he didn't know, like JR said, if his tomorrow was guaranteed. That was the first legitimate time he was scared that he was going to die.
And Emmanuel's got a point. I mean, there could be massive layoffs to cut down the roster, or they could do what it seems like Triple H has been doing lately, and that's just let contracts expire.
Yeah.
That way there's no 90-day no compete clause. You know, the contract could expire on a Tuesday. They could be on Dynamite that Wednesday.
Or TNA.
Because there's no compete clause.
Or ROH, exactly. Yeah, and
agreed. I was just trying to give like the next day scenario.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I mean, you know, they could literally have that quick of a turnover because there's no compete clause. And I think again that just goes to show the difference between Vince McMahon and Triple H. Vince would cut you, but then you can't do shit for 90 days.
Correct.
You're just stuck. And if you were a partier who lived beyond your means, maybe you don't really have a fat bank account to make your bills and your rent for those 3 months.
Right. That riddle, bro.
Whereas Triple H is like, hey, we'll keep you on the contract. We won't use you a whole lot. Your contract will expire and you can immediately go and sign and appear with whoever you want to appear with. If you want to thumb around the indies like a hitchhiker, you can do that. If you want to, like I said, have your contract expire on Tuesday and show up on Dynamite on Wednesday, you can do that.
Yeah, and it gives more freedom and it gives more possibilities. Again, like I said, never been a greater time to be a wrestling fan for anybody to make something out of themselves somewhere in this business. And with more companies in a more lucrative spot, in a more comfortable business spot, in a sense of mind, it seems, than ever. Again, WWE is not the only one. It is not the end all be all that you need to be, you know, literally be the only thing that relates to you while in life. And we have seen that now more than this year alone than ever before. So I do think, again, it's just that business restructuring. But it also goes back to what I said also, the quantity and quality. And to your point, even with contracts expiring, WWE bringing in these newer athletes to try and turn into the future superstars tomorrow. So Ruka, for example, it is going to have to eventually fluctuate how their roster actually is and who they keep on hand. So I am curious to see how this does shape, because it's going to shape, obviously, the WWE landscape again. And I'm not just talking about a draft, but I also do think it gives the superstars, the people, the wrestlers, the human beings, that freedom to prepare for that situation and actually be okay with it.
Absolutely.
Kudos to WWE. Man, you really have become, honestly, a whole different company, at least from a business standpoint. Respect.
Speaking of the business standpoint, we'll transition us right into the next topic.
Okay.
Keep in mind, this is one fan's opinion. Opinions are subjective.
Yeah.
But I read this guy's opinion and I was like, you know, I think he may be onto something here.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd present it, get the panel's discussion, which seems to just be you for now this evening.
The simple and the Reddit, the simple man and the renegade. This is nice. I like this though.
So it says the reason WWE keeps growing and AEW keeps shrinking boils down to this. WWE is actually making a play for the AEW audience and are doing things to attract those uber niche marks like myself while still catering to the masses and presenting wrestling as larger than life. They have the flippy speed matches on X. They have more adult-themed stuff so adults can enjoy it. They have the kid stuff for the kids. They play the work shoot social media game for the marks. They have representation from all types of humans from all over the world, placed strategically. They're checking all the boxes. AEW isn't doing anything to make a play at WWE's audience. They're just sticking to their guns and going Kaioken times 10 with whatever they're doing, and it's just focused on pleasing a vocal minority of social media bot accounts, basically. I think this guy really kind of hit the nail on the marker there. It's like there was a time before I got back into things when Dynamite and your NXT were on the same night and time, and it was a competition, the Wednesday Night Wars. And as a result, NXT was getting their asses beat by the upstart AEW. And over time, things have changed. More specifically within the last couple years, going back to Brawl Out, and then last year with Punk's termination, and to today, you can really see a steady decline. And you can see how WWE has tried to do more of the things AEW does. Picture-in-picture commercial breaks, longer matches on television. You got Mello and Andrade going a good 20 so minutes on SmackDown. You've got, before he left, Ricochet was higher featured. Now he's on Dynamite. You've got the speed matches like they were talking about. You've got the Punk and Drew McIntyre situation, which social media and the way it's playing out in the ring, I feel like this guy really makes a point here, and I'm curious, as someone who's been a Day Zero fan for AEW and used to watch the Black and Gold NXT when it was competing, and someone who's admittedly started to become a fan of the WWE product again because the way they've been stepping their game up. Do you agree with this guy's take?
I think there's some key points he definitely makes in his take, but I definitely don't agree with everything, because I do think there's a reason as AEW approaches its 5-year anniversary, it's finally expanding into other territories, such as doing their national show in the UK for its flagship show, Dynamite, and now going down under to Australia for Grand Slam, making Grand Slam a greater showcase. I think there's been a little bit of tit for tat from both companies, respectfully, but as far as the points he was making, target audience, WWE has always been that thing that's always tried to target everything. And now with what AEW has been doing since inception, WWE has been taking steps, I feel like, to take some of that away. And they've also been exploiting the social media twatting behavior of AEW, which more so has been doing it than WWE, for their own gain. Why Triple H might literally be following the X to see what people might want more of. If it's edgier content that involves Liv Morgan with her, well, I'm not going to go there, at least not tonight, not for free, then I think there definitely is some merit. But I also just look at the scope, the perspective, the definition of subjective of professional wrestling. They're the reason why, again, Raw and SmackDown still are my weekly go watch on TV situations. One's still bootleg Judgment Day focus. The other one's still bootleg Bloodline focus. But yeah, the in-ring quality of wrestling has massively improved. And I definitely don't count X, because to me, that's just literally a social media ploy. WWE literally markets out to everybody. They're basically trying to put their logo out there on more things than Trump. AEW, again, it does focus at the heart of it. The professional wrestling audience looking for that more in-ring focus, extreme product with elements from the past days of my NXT, going back all the way to ECW with the extreme violent nature and the audience engagement and reactions, to, again, what people expect nowadays from the wrestling, where I think more often than not, it's not just AEW and WWE taking from each other. It's both companies taking from the independent wrestling scene. I think a lot of what today's products are has a lot to do with what workers develop, showcase, bring forward from the independents, and now comes to the main event scene, the mainstream scene. because people want more of that because they expect that. You still were scratching your head with that prestige show at that one spot with the triple stereo counts and stuff. But there is no denying that definitely WWE have stretched out their audience outlook further than ever. And when you look at who they have on these legend contracts representing, like Shinsuke Nakamura, like Rhea Ripley, Australia, Japan, Marigold, Noah, etc., there definitely is, excuse me, there definitely is a lot of merit to that argument. So I think he makes a lot of sense, but I do think AEW is trying to literally rebound from the foolishness of their past. Even if you have a couple of kids right now that are still acting like kids to this day. But there definitely is a lot of truth to what he says, but I don't think it's 100%. And again, you can't expect your past to be the present to define the future. So with what AEW has done this last year versus what WWE has done this last year, exponentially, you could definitely see the growth and the contrast there. And whether or not AEW tries to go as far internationally as WWE has, particularly this year, remains to be seen.
Well said. I mean, there's a part of me that wishes that AEW would take a little bit more from the WWE playbook and try to cater to the masses without sacrificing their mission statement.
Right.
I feel like if they were to do that, they would be a lot better off than they are right now.
Agree.
I'm not saying that they have to take everything from WWE, obviously.
No.
You don't want there to be two identical companies.
No, there's a reason why I went to AEW and during the pandemic that saved my life and ATW was born.
But I definitely feel like there's improvement to be made. I mean,
Agree.
I look at the shots from Victory Road last night and how full that arena was.
2,000 plus.
And then I look at the shots from a Dynamite or a Collision or even All Out. And you look at how empty it is. And even though there may be about the same amount of people, AEW is still trying to run
bigger
venues that are too big for their market right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like TNA knows their lane and they stay in it. They run venues that maybe can only hold about $3,000. And then if they get 2,300 people, that's only 700 empty seats.
Yeah, they still call that a success. While Collision will be coming up for me on October 3rd. The Huntington Center is a hockey stadium that holds close to 8,000. And again, that's for Collision. They're doing that for, not Dynamite and Rampage, unlike the Wolfstein Center in Cleveland later that month. And I don't even know what that holds. And I think that's a basketball arena. Hello, Nathan.
You said that hockey arena holds 8,000, and they'll probably do 3,000. Which again isn't bad.
No,
but that's 5,000 empty seats.
Yeah,
as opposed to 700 empty seats.
It's one of those things where I also wonder. I look at what they're booking, and they're reaching the capacity that maybe they know they can sustain, but they're just not booking the right buildings for the capacity. Again, I think TNA has been the best formula it could be since literally TNA has existed this year. Excuse me.
I agree.
But again, I do think AEW is finally trying to get on a upswing with the fact they are announcing these things out there, trying to do bigger stuff. They're trying to dip their toes more internationally. Grand Slam Australia, bringing it all in locally now to Texas. And after their experiment with the Arlington path to All In, filling out the Arlington Rangers baseball park seems very doable for them.
Hopefully.
Right.
Hopefully they won't pull some kind of bonehead move between now and then that'll have them not be able to do that, because I've said it before here when it was open mic night, and I've said it on the Shenanigans. My biggest fear is that All In Texas, and they're not going to be able to do what they were doing in Wembley.
Yeah, Wembley, by the way, 50,000 plus, still an amazing attendance. But again, what a difference a year makes based on the actions reflected by the company. So again, don't be a Twitter twat, and know that you don't need to live in this. And at least Triple H has more of a brain to know that, even if he does follow it verbatim.
Well, I'm gonna go. Oh, hey, here we go. $2 super chat from Emmanuel. I was just gonna say, if anybody's got any topics they want us to discuss, send a super chat. We'll discuss it, because we've only got one more topic to do.
Hey, this is always the best format. No disrespect to the rest of the panel, but this is always the best format, personally. What the man got to say?
He wants to know if TNA can overtake AEW as the second best in wrestling.
That's an interesting take. I mean, they have the name value, they have the longevity, they have the history, they have the dedicated fan base over the last 20 years, with the expansion now of the NXT and some of the WWE Universe, per se. It's one of those things where, again, ranks, which I don't do, perspectives, subjectives. I do think there's a real possibility. And I think the moment you see that is when you see NXT and A worlds collide. I think they can.
I mean, it's all subjective. I mean, I kind of feel like they already have. AEW, with each passing week, I turn it on and I'm bored half the time, because the angles and the people that I care about don't get featured consistently.
Right.
And it's the Elite show, which I get. You know, the Bucks are EVPs. They're going to have that stroke.
Yeah.
But the Elite, Mercedes, Hangman, I don't care about these people. The people that I do care about, Willow and Tony and Mariah and the GYV. It's like the GYV and FTR resorted to Collision. They're not even on Dynamite half the time.
Yeah.
And I get it. You want some main event talent for your B show, but like, you've got to have, unless you're going to have separate defined rosters, which I don't think they do yet.
No.
You need to have some of those talents appearing on the A show.
Yeah, and I feel like for House of Black, for the FTR, for certain individuals, Collision has been made their mainstay, their home. But there's still a lot of crossbreeding. I mean, they finally got Serena Deeb something now with Yuka Sagasaki. I love that name. But yeah, when I look at Dynamite, I do see a certain definition of people that are there consistently, but I also do see a rotation out when it comes to who they do book in a match. So it's one of those things where, again, the rosters aren't structured, but you have your focal points. And the biggest focal point for me right now in AEW is, what in the name of freaking hostile takeover is happening with Rena Shafir, Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Jon Moxley, and Mariah May, the glamour. I'm very curious to see how her and this Mina Shirakawa thing develops. I think Fallout's ahead of Will Ospreay and his bro, Kyle Fletcher. And again, we're looking at Bryan Danielson's final countdown. Collision, at the end of the day, Collision's more of that substandard, okay, kind of like my wrestling show. You get your 30-minute classic at the end. You get some great women's wrestling, more than one. You get a great opener, and then the middle's like, what are we doing here in the middle? That's not go home to a pay-per-view to state what happened ahead of All Out. I feel Collision is more scattered, why Dynamite is more structured, but Dynamite's more limited, why Collision gives more of a possibility.
That's fair. I'm glad you brought up the Moxley thing, because that, in a nutshell, what we saw in Dynamite this week, and I touched on this on my Dynamite review.
Watch for the wrestling, folks.
It's everything that I find wrong in AEW in one image. Marina Shafir is more intimidating than your number one contender to the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
I wonder if that's by design. Since she was such a dark note in this company, but John Moxley held her to such a regard. And also, when you look at Darby Allin, John Moxley, 1A, 1B, they fought each other for the AEW World Championship during the pandemic. John Moxley still says, nothing's changed the perspective of me towards you. I still let you ride with me. But also John Moxley and Bryan Danielson, when Blackpool Combat was formed, they were about a mission statement that John Moxley was talking about, leading the future of this company. And it seemed like diplomacy died. Now war's been declared. I do think more is to develop with Darby Allin and John Moxley with the two. But yeah, that was weird because last time we got intergender warfare in AEW was mixed tag action with damn, I can't even remember. Oh yeah, Willow and Ishii versus Stokely and Statlander. But it's one of those frames where, again, the unknown leaves me in suspension of disbelief. And I think we are going to get some interesting developments at Grand Slam.
And I think the whole Osprey Fletcher thing is just to turn Fletcher even more heel.
Yeah, I'm calling it now. I'm calling that they don't win the titles, and that's when Don Callis forces Fletcher to make a decision, and we're going to see Fletcher's true nature. Does he truly go along with the family, or does he stick for life with his brother? And then does Roosh and freaking Powerhouse Hobbs come back and obliterate them? Again, some unknowns is what keeps me going in AEW versus, more of the known in the other places. But yeah, as far as the super chat goes, almost went to subtangent. I would say if we get Worlds Collide NXT and A, you could say yes, but right now I'm going to say no.
Fair enough. Speaking of super chats, we got another one.
Hey.
Arlene with $5. Thank you, Arlene. Do you think that Roxanne and Julia should have been on a PLE instead? And who do you have winning?
That's your brand, bro. You're kicking this one off.
I definitely think it should have been on a PLE.
Agree. Continue. He's checking on some folks. Continue.
Sorry, I've got the little one here trying to get my attention. Give me 1 second.
Oh, Natalie? Hey. Tender voice of the reliable network. Hope that she's doing well. And hope that she's also doing fairly well in the league, even though she only started literally halfway through the year. I have her score. So kudos to her. Everyone give it up for Natalie.
Actually, not Natalie. It's Leo, which is Cece's grandson.
Oh, okay. Well, nice. Hey, still a future fan, probably predictor. Continue.
But in any event, I do feel that it should have been on a PLE.
Agree.
However, the premiere on the CW has that big fight feel for it. I mean, Halloween Havoc is always known for their wheel of stipulations.
Yeah.
So, regardless of who wins on the first, I see a rematch happening in Halloween Havoc with some stipulation on the wheel coming into play here. Some people feel that Roxanne should retain and help define her championship, by defeating this, for lack of a better term, WWE upstart. I know Julia's got a storied career, but she literally just broke onto the scene a month ago. So some people feel that she hasn't proven herself in the WWE ecosystem to put the strap on her yet.
Mm.
Other people feel that Roxanne should already be on the main roster. I still wholeheartedly feel that if Cora Jade hadn't got injured, Roxanne would have been drafted.
I've been saying that for months.
We both have. I also don't feel that Julia is going to be in NXT long. I feel like she's just down there to kind of condition herself to WWE television. You know, where's the hard camera at? How to time your matches for commercial breaks and everything. And I see her getting drafted in the next draft. You know, technically speaking, she could beat Roxanne either on the first or at Halloween Havoc, dump the belt at Stand and Deliver, be on WrestleMania the next night. I could see Julia moving that quickly.
Okay. As an advocate of...
So I don't know. And Safet, we know all these BTWs. You don't have to be Captain Obvious, bro.
Yeah, but
Love you, but you don't.
Don't
these things.
Don't book me a hotel, but appreciate you, bro. So here's my take on the state of women's wrestling in WWE. Might get a little hot, but I'm not going to try to because I also got a headache. I think the main rosters effing suck. They're pigeonholed. You got the women's champion on Raw not even defending her title in bootleg Bloodline storyline where her and Rhea Ripley are in a never-ending story. You got Nia Jax while she's on Redemption. I'm not seeing Jack Dooley done so far with the title because we're preserving that for Tiffany Stratton. Let's just call it what it is. And what are the rest of the women doing? They're being pigeonholed into lame brain tag teams or trios with the most horrible names, doing absolutely nothing because there's no other titles to go for. And more importantly, not titles, no storylines developing. While your NXT has right now 3 different grudge storylines and 2 different championship storylines and an NXT storyline looming. If I was a woman in WWE right now, I would pray to be in NXT if you want to have something going outside catering at this point. We were lucky to have Io Shirai on the run that she had last year, and Bayley and her having a great match at WrestleMania. But if that's the only thing you're going to give the women one time a year outside 4 total on your main roster, then F the main roster to me because I still don't give Jet Dooley about Raw and SmackDown's women's divisions. That being said, as far as this goes, I agree. But here's the thing, as JJ pointed out, and here's the thing I'll say about wrestling when you get these premiere matches for TV. When the TV show gives you that bigger than normal feel, Grand Slam, premiere week, that's justified to give you the big players and the big moments. So the fact that we got Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness at Grand Slam, and now I have literally the following week, Julia, former World of Stardom champion, taking on the prodigy Roxanne Perez, former Ring of Honor and Reality of Wrestling and current 2-time NXT Women's Champion. Yes, freaking please. Thank God I love women's professional wrestling, and it's actually being glorified in certain scenes. Damn it. Where NXT is the only product for me right now worth watching in WWE. Congratulations. It finally got back to that point to me. I still think that Booker T and Vic Joseph, though, are bleh. But anyway, as far as the Super Chat goes, not that I'm trying to go into a sub-tangent, I do believe it should have been on PLE, but they don't have anything before Halloween Havoc. So for me, this makes the best sense to set the best precipice for NXT on live TV. And as far as who I have winning, JJ, when Asuka came into the Black and Gold NXT, Kana was a complete unknown. She ran roughshod and still to this day holds the longest undefeated record and women's championship reign. Julia could be that in this era of NXT. I have Julia winning only if Cora Jade doesn't show up.
It's fair. That is fair. I mean, I do expect there to be some returns, debuts, on the first. You know, we could get another Jordan Grace challenge,
I wouldn't mind
the
that.
Knockouts title. I expect there to be some major stuff on the first, and I'm looking forward, work schedule permitting, to be able to call that stuff with you.
You better figure out a way to be there.
Hey, my job only gives me 2 days a week, so if that just happens to be what they give me, actually, that schedule is out. I am off that day.
Good deal.
Need to see what happens for the next week when they go to St. Louis, but
Look, you're going to be.
we're still not for sure if we're doing that one yet or not.
The bottom line, though, the most important thing right now in NXT this year is the freaking CW premiere in Chicago. And the bottom line, Raw and SmackDown, make me care again. Make me care again.
Well, I think they started to plant those seeds last night when we had Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes sign the contract to take on Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu at Bad Blood.
Keyword, I said women. I didn't say anything about the men. I have Gunther on Raw as the World Heavyweight Champion. You just told me that Roman and Cody are teaming up. What the fuck is 2024?
Right?
Just saying. Anyway, continue. Oh, look, another super chat.
Yes,
Well,
we did get another one from Emmanuel. Appreciate you, bruv.
Am I going to just put it out there and say that right now people are enjoying simply the Renegade and the Simple Man two-man show tonight?
Hey, you know what? It is what it is. I mean,
What's
it
happening?
was starting to look like this could be no DQ review links and we'd be done in about an hour, but as long as the super chats are coming.
All right, fine, people. Let's keep going. Shoot.
Emmanuel with $2 says thoughts on Def Rebel ending their stint in WWE. Now, before you spit your drink out, because I know how you feel about Def Rebel, I still have 36 tracks of theirs that I think are bangers, okay? It doesn't compare to the Jim Johnston era.
Hell no.
Definitely not going to argue you there. But honestly, I'm indifferent. Because when I came back, we were already in the Def Rebel era.
Yes.
A lot of their songs did sound generic at first. I remember the first Rumble that I called with you. I had no idea who was coming out half the time. But I was also still new back. So it was like, I'm not sure whose music this is.
Right.
You know, so now doing a Rumble, I'd be a little bit more familiar with the music. You know, music hit and I'd be like, oh, it's so-and-so. Oh, it's so-and-so. Oh, it's so-and-so. Whether it's a good track, a shitty track, a mid-track, whatever. I am interested in the fact that the standing rumor is that they're going to start using licensed tracks.
What?
I know WWE has got the budget probably because of this deal with Netflix, plus the TKO Endeavor merge. But how much is it going to cost for them to license these songs? You know, we've already got Punk using Cult of Personality.
Right.
I don't know about them licensing songs for everybody.
About to say, does anybody know what the hell goes into a music license? That is one of the most damnedest expensive things you could put into your business. And you're telling me that WWE might go mainstream with how many workers, even on just TV basis? That is an unfathomable amount of money they will be putting in to build a better presentation for the superstars themselves versus where they should be putting it in budgets for friggin' specialized sets on the biggest type of effing events. But I digress. But that being said, if this is true, this might actually put new hope in me that WWE will actually try and put more of an effort into the presentation of their superstars that are literally going to be wrestling. Because I'm still waiting. You know what, personally, JJ, I'm waiting for you to send me that spotlight playlist. So I can be like, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. Okay, I like it, hate it, hate it. Because 90% of the damn songs literally starts off with saying the damn person's name just to give some freaking Joe Smo from Kokomo an idea of who the heck this person is. Other than that, you could literally play this song on Guitar Hero and not freaking fail it. All right? But literally, stop me, I'm telling mine.
I used to love Guitar Hero. That's why I'm
I played
laughing.
Rock Band for a little bit. I'm just saying. But if this is an interesting fact, then okay, wow. So WWE, I guess, maybe isn't trying to be the biggest cheapskates in the business or trying to just go all original. Because mainstream music, oh my gosh, that is buku bucks that they would literally be spending. Then again, with Netflix, I guess the sky's the limit, especially if you're still going to have commercials and you're literally going 100% streaming wise with your biggest flagship show ever. So, I mean, I always did say WWE's never too big to fail. I guess maybe WWE's not too big to spend the biggest amount of money possible. At this point, I'm just waiting for WWE to buy their own island.
I mean, you've also got to figure that they've got a lot of people that they're on good terms with. You know, Kid Rock, Snoop Dogg, those guys are Hall of Famers.
Right.
You know, Bad Bunny come in, done performances. Sexy Red was on NXT.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just throwing out names, Noah.
I know.
You know, to Safet's point, Megan the Stallion is doing the brand new SmackDown theme song.
Who?
Megan the Stallion.
Never heard of her.
Well, she'll tell you all about her WAP if you want her to.
What the fuck's a WAP?
Why
do you all speak in words that don't freaking define? Everybody speaks a damn letter at the start of a damn sentence or word in a damn paragraph.
Noah, it's an acronym.
Emojis. You freaking do acronyms and you freaking can't speak. You can't write a damn research paper for your life or send a damn email if you work for a business. And now I hear the word WAP. What the fuck's a WAP? That's a short termination for a whopper. Why in the hell is this a thing? Seriously, this is why America is degrading. And we're supposed to elect some dipshit back to office this year. And I got to deal with some freaking woman or Donald Trump again. This is why the world is failing as we speak.
Noah, I love you. Look at the private chat so you understand why I'm not saying it on the air. Yeah, that's what WAP is.
You people are fucked up. What?
So for those of you watching, please don't put it in the chat room. We don't want to get flagged by YouTube. I sent it to Noah in the StreamYard private chat, so he now knows what it is. Hence his facial reaction there a second ago.
This world is going to hell. Damn. But bottom line, though, bye-bye, Def Rebel. I miss you, CFOS. Jim Johnson, he will never be beaten. Mainstream music? What the fuck is mainstream music today? I mean, unless you're giving me a music I recognize, yeah, we'll see.
I mean, again, you think about it, they used to have Disturbed doing Stone Cold's theme song. They had Powerman 5000 doing the Dudleys Bombshell.
I remember that, yeah.
They had Saliva doing Batista's.
Yep.
POD does Rey Mysterio's when he's doing the solo thing. And he isn't in the LWO.
I still miss the old thing, though, personally.
I miss Booyaka 619 also, but, you know. Or the Who's That Jumping Out the Sky?
Or Rey Mysterio, here we go. Yeah, seriously.
But, I mean, they've got partnerships with some of these people they've still got to be on good terms with.
It's fair.
So they might be able to work out some kind of deal. It's like you're getting your songs exposed to the masses.
I mean, hell,
WWE is a global juggernaut.
There's a reason why people perform at the Super Bowl for free. It's the greatest exposure you get literally in your entire career. Get a song from Jelly Roll for freaking Fallon Henley. But anyway, yeah, okay. I mean, I could probably get behind this as long as I understand what the music is and it ain't some whack ass shit like you just told me that there. What the hell? Does anyone even know anymore what a dictionary is? Or are we just writing the dictionary as we speak? Can you basically turn anything into a word? Like Eminem made a word rhyme with orange, and I still don't know how he did that. Anyway. Daggum. Mainstream media. Okay.
All right, we just got another $2 super chat from Emmanuel.
Damn it! You know what? Fine. I got a headache and I'm heated, but I'm having too much fun right now. This is probably one of my favorite episodes yet because it's so tame.
Right? I mean,
then you trigger me.
This is no different than a simply predicting or a simple take that me and you do. Like, seriously.
Yeah. It's been a long time since we had a 2-man show as well. Continue.
Thoughts on WWE signing the Motor City Machine Guns? Again, I've heard this rumor circulated.
I'll say it's not confirmed.
I don't know where it started getting reported this time around because I haven't seen anything official from WWE.
All right.
Once I see them in a WWE or NXT ring, I'll believe it. Until then, I'm not putting out hopes. I mean,
no.
I kind of feel like that with the Machine Guns, it's a similar situation as Nick Nemeth. You know, I watched an interview he did. Him and Moose were being interviewed by somebody, not a guy I usually watch. So forgive me, I don't remember his name.
Hi, Denise Salcedo. Great work, by the way. I did see your interview with Moose and Nick Nemeth. Give her a follow, folks. I did see that. She's great.
It wasn't her. It was a different guy, but he basically was interviewing them, and Nick was talking about the NXT and a relationship. And he's like, no disrespect, but I've been there, done that. I have no desire to cross over to NXT as the TNA champion.
Right.
It's like, I was already their champion 2 years ago. So with the Machine Guns, it's like if they debut in WWE and they debut on NXT, which that's the rumor I keep hearing, is that that's where they're going to go to kind of help develop the tag teams down there and work with some of the younger guys, part coach, part talent, kind of like how Sean Spears has been doing. You know, he's kind of been a coach and a mentor while still being an on-air wrestler and talent. I don't know how, you know, much they're going to want to get involved in this NXT TNA crossover. It's like they left TNA.
Yeah.
I almost think it would be better for them to go to the main roster, maybe get a WrestleMania moment, and then in the draft, they could get drafted down to NXT to start working with the talent. That way they can kind of miss this crossover right now. Because again, we don't know how long the partnership's going to last.
Yeah, and I feel like for me, if the Motor City Machine Guns are going to be involved in WWE, you first need to reset both tag team divisions. Again, one held hostage Bootleg Bloodline, the other one's held hostage by Bootleg Judgment Day. Problem A, problem B, just like the women's divisions.
And I mean, I'd like to see DIY versus the Machine Guns. I don't know about you.
Yes,
Profits versus the Guns.
Yeah, I get that, but right now, with the way again things look like right now, I just don't think it would make sense. I think, yeah, you would just bring them in if they are in WWE, bring them more as a incognito role to guide tag team wrestling and developmental in NXT. But as far as bringing them onto the screen, yeah, I would definitely probably save that closer towards WrestleMania season. If you're going to bring them as a team, you can't really mess around with that with the Royal Rumble. So I think, yeah, you save them for a WrestleMania moment and you really give a team a challenge worthy of the grandest stage in, well, now professional wrestling from Las Vegas. So, yeah, I think you'll hold off. And if speculation is to be backed up that the Performance Center is moving to Las Vegas, you're just adding more fuel to the fire there, I think, with that. So right now, I think that MCMG are fine staying hiatus, honestly, because it's not like they need to do anything else at this point. And like you said, with this NXT TNA relationship, kind of would feel a little weird. Been there, done that mostly.
Well, the big rumor going forth is that they're going to make their debut on the premiere on the CW.
Are they going to do it from the audience, though, or are they going to confront Fraxion backstage? Just saying.
Don't know. I mean, if I were going to do it and I were going to do it there, I'd kind of have it be a Scott Hall WCW situation and have him come through the crowd and interrupt the match.
Outsiders. You're bringing the Moisture Machine Guns as heels.
Because, well, and not even necessarily as heels, because they're going to get a fucking insane pop.
Oh, absolutely.
But with the NXT-TNA crossover going, and the fact that they were TNA last, are they here as part of the TNA crossover, or are they Team NXT?
No.
So it's like that's how I would do it, and have it be when there's like, you know, Zachary Wentz versus Wes Lee. You know, that Chicago street fight.
Yeah.
So you know you're having that interpromotional crossover. Which side are they here for?
And Wesley, imagine him getting the Moisture Machine Guns, and the three of them are a unit. Now that really would be something interesting.
Hey, that could definitely be a thing. I mean, you figure he brings in the guns to take out his old rascal brethren.
Yep. I can see it, though. I mean, I can see it. If it's speculation, again, I literally live by seeing is believing. I don't scroll. I don't read. I don't follow. I don't see. I literally wait until it happens on my screen. Period. So.
And that's me for the most part, too, or unless I see some kind of press release out of Stamford, Connecticut, you know, WWE saying it, or, you know, Tony Khan in the Motor City Machine Guns is all elite graphic.
not by Wrestling Covers, though, who's been making awesome graphics, and still RJ City's been denied a graphic. And if it wasn't for him, you would have had the Timeless era. Speaking of Timeless Tony Storm has now challenged Mayu Iwatani for the IWGP Women's Championship, and that'll be happening next month in October in Nagoya.
There you go.
That could be an interesting development for Wrestle Dynasty. Man, Ozuki, you were so close. Anyway. But yeah, again, with Grand Slam, with the CW premiere, there's a lot of crazy, awesome stuff to look forward to in pro wrestling before October truly begins.
Yes, sir. Oh, we got Jeff popping into the chat.
Jeff.
Sorry I'm not able to join in tonight after all. Transit issues, note my surprise, but looking forward to 90s country karaoke in 2 weeks.
Well, at least I actually care about the genre a little bit. Johnny Cash and the classics and stuff like that. And it won't have some jackass with some WAP lyric in it or some damn dumb shit like that. Hopefully.
Nah, 90s country didn't really have any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's when music actually was manageable. It was actually quality. It was actually readable. And it actually had standards. Anyway, continue. Stop! What the hell is happening here? You get two people on screen only, and you're trying to turn this into the life of a freaking SmackDown. Come on, let's keep going.
Hey, Jeff just, you know, that 24-hour playlist. I don't know if you listened to it, sir, because I did share it in the group. I will send it again to you private, but like, I figured I would have you because I know how you are with 90s music, and I know that you actually like country music also.
Grew up on my mom's side of the family with that stuff.
There we go. He fixed it.
First ever song
24-hour playlist is no effing joke.
Okay. So first ever song I ever heard. I'll tell you again. First ever song I heard outside of Rod Stewart, Broken Arrow, which apparently was my life song, according to my mother, was Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire, and I still know it word for word verbatim to this day.
Unfortunately, that wasn't a 90s song, but
I know.
Love that one too. There's a few Johnny Cash songs that came out in the 90s.
Yeah, he had later songs. I mean, shoot, I when I was Once a Wee Lad, I did see Walk the Line. Again, Johnny Cash next to Garth Brooks and Alan Jackson are probably top five of my all-time favorite. country music artists.
There you go. I mean, there's not a lot of Garth Brooks on the playlist just
Nah.
because he doesn't make his stuff available on Spotify.
I'm not surprised.
But,
I'll check out.
TJ Perkins used to use I've Been Everywhere by Johnny Cash on the Indies.
Yeah.
That was a 90s song, so that's one that you could do if you wanted to.
I'll check out
wrestling.
I mean, I literally am home this entire next week for work, so I will definitely check out your playlist because this actually might be pleasing to my spirit.
I hope so, man. Like when we do these karaoke's, I try not to just think about what do I want to do. I try to think about what everybody is going to be into. And I know country isn't everybody's cup of tea, but it seems like the majority of us on the team more or less enjoy 90s country music.
I'll give you that.
There's a lot of stuff from the 80s and older that's kind of hit and miss for people. There's a lot of stuff from the 2000s to now that's kind of hit and miss for people. But the 90s, rock music, R&B, hip hop, country, more or less across the board.
Yeah. It was probably the most pinnacle age of music. And again, being a 90s kid, born in 1992, my dad was a DJ. He grew up on Motown, Solid Gold Oldies, and R&B. 95.7 Tom Jordan Morning Show was always played. And my mom, she is country as day and long, still a country bumpkin that walks barefooted sometimes, even on the driveway. She's sleeping right now. God bless her. So you definitely got me there. Can't deny what I am.
And I admit that I listen to that more than anything, country music, but I've always been a purveyor of all genres, which you'll find out once the first of the year comes and I expand my channel with the new shows.
Well, I mean, again, you take enough Uber rides, you just hit shuffle on Spotify, and you find any music before this day and age that pretty much just becomes something that you like. So I'm definitely up there with you. But speaking of being up there with you, you and I have definitely been up there for one of the longest one-on-one conversations in this show's history. And Emmanuel apparently wants to keep it going. Let's go ahead and get to his latest super chat before he and Arlene get another idea.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Jeff says he's hidden that tunnel between the valley and home, so he's going to lose us. That's fine, bruh. More songs that he didn't know, remember, than he did. Hence the need to wait until tomorrow for the Shania help. That has to do with the show that I'm putting together. I asked for his opinion on a song.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Shania Twain. There's the name right there.
Yeah, there were two songs from her debut album before she really blew up that I'm considering for one of my shows called Forgotten Gems, which are songs that were popular that just don't get talked about as much anymore for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And considering these are from the album before Any Man of Mine and all that stuff that really kind of launched her into the stratosphere, hence the fact that they're forgotten.
Fair enough.
But so Emmanuel with $2, your best guess as to what JBL is whispering to people. I see dead people.
Someone did make that a meme already, I swear. I'm surprised my ATW crew hasn't shared something like that. I'm about to say, at this point, I don't know. Maybe it's like, I have the border on control. I don't know. I mean, they were down in Texas. I don't even know if he's whispering the same thing.
That's fair.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I wish I could give you a guess, Emmanuel, but honestly, most of the stuff he's been at, I haven't seen enough to where I could try to read his lips or anything.
Or put the pieces together if this is some sort of globalization for him, the hell he's doing.
Yeah, it's okay, so we know he whispered to Nick Nemeth. We know he whispered to Brock Anderson. Who else has he approached and whispered to? Is there any kind of common thread between all these people? the fact that he's going to all these promotions, like I said, is he just building his own Avengers? Is he Nick Fury? And Nick Nemeth is Tony Stark. Brock Anderson is Hawkeye.
Casting, but yeah, I can see
Well,
that.
I don't feel like Brock Anderson is on a level enough to be Thor or Captain America.
That's fair. That's fair. Even though he's got a hell of a spine buster, that's fair. But the
Okay,
hammer
maybe
down.
Hulk then. Hulk smash.
Yeah,
with that
let's go with that. Bruce Banner. Let's go with
But
that.
I also don't
I
know
stuff.
who else he's approached to try to put in those roles. Hence,
Right.
why I went with like Hawkeye. It's like
right. Well, I mean, again, as somebody that watches all things wrestling, I don't see a correlation right now with the two people we know at the forefront. And again, MLW, that's a whole different animal with Minoru Suzuki, part of Contra. What the hell is happening? So, I mean, it's one of those things where we need to see what this means, and maybe we'll get more of a foreshadowing at Bound for Glory after Nick Nemeth defends his title there. Because he's going to. It's just a matter against who. And what is the primary? It's Frank Kazarian.
hey, I mean, Joe Hendry did beat Josh Alexander, so it could be Nick Nemeth and Joe Hendry.
I want that. If I'm Bound for Glory, I need that. That's the motivation I need to try and go Bound for Glory, even if it costs me. Anyway. Well, say his name and Super Chat appears. Damn it! And that's what you're just delaying this because literally you want to. Everybody wants the two-man show. Are you not entertained? And how dare you even ask that question? Bo Dallas wished that he was believable as much as Joe Hendry was. Are you kidding me? That should not even be for $2 or whatever tax you get after YouTube demonetizes. Fuck you, demonetization. Of course I believe in Joe Hendry more than anything. Go ahead, JJ.
I gotta agree with you on that one. I mean, when this whole thing first started, I told you that I believed in Positively Page. I believed in, Bo Dallas. I believed, but once I believed in Joe Hendry, man, everything else just kind of disappeared.
Damn right, as it should be. But great match though with the Wyatt Six on Monday Night Raw. That was the one thing I did watch. It was, of course, why I'd be honored. And American Made. I still don't know if I can get behind that name. If they use American Made for their freaking theme, I'm gonna lose my shits.
I mean, WWE owns it now, so
anyway,
it doesn't cost them anything. They owe it because that was a WCW theme. When they bought WCW in the library, they got the music, so they could use it and not have to pay anything.
That's what makes me wonder how much mainstream versus archive music are they going to use, because maybe Def Rebel isn't paying the bills anymore. When was he paying the bills? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, we believe in Joe Hendry. Simple as that. I wonder where he's at on the PWI, which I think that came out already, but I don't look at that. I mean, I'm glad anybody gets recognized on that list. But it's one of those things where, again, you want to talk about subjective. That's a whole different topic that could last a whole different episode, which I love doing because, one, I never read it. Two, when he shows it, I always like just talking about it. But for whoever made the PWI, congratulations once again. For those that didn't make it, no, that does not mean that what you're giving to the business doesn't contribute enough. You just got to keep going. Believe in yourself more than you believe in PWI, just like everyone believes in Joe Hendry. Anyway.
Joe Hendry is number 51 out of 500.
Very nice. Good on him. Again, what a stellar year for 250 pounds of pure motivation. The answer to all life's questions. Again, everyone should believe, including you, Aaron Rift and King, in Joe Hendry.
Yeah, so next time Keen wants to give you shit, Joe Hendry is ranked above Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Claudio Castagnoli, Kevin Owens, Jack Perry, Ricochet, Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke Takeshita.
Ooh, wow.
Sabin.
Oh, Sabin.
Roderick Strong, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Hook, Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, Chris Jericho, Shota Umino.
Oh, Roughneck.
Joe Hendry is listed above all of those names.
And that's all you need to know when it comes to the value of Joe Hendry and his recognition of accomplishments to this business. Go get your copy of PWI today. But yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about that in a future episode. But before something else happens, I think that's it.
And we did have one more topic.
Oh, okay.
And I do want to throw this out here. You keep kind of like gurring at Emmanuel and Arlene making this last longer. Think about it this way: the more they super chat tonight, the less they may have come 2 weeks for karaoke to make you suffer. So
I feel.
I mean, it's possible they'll get paid between now and then. So
right.
I could be speaking out of my ass because 2 weeks paychecks, but
bi-weekly pay schedules.
Just saying, like it'll be the closer to the first of the month. Rent's due. This could be their frivolous money right here that they're using. So.
I mean, I need to get new video games. I'm about to go stir crazy. Freaking $60-$70 market margin. That's a whole different conversation. Not that I'm trying to turn this to what really grinds my gears. Anyway, continue. What's your main event topic?
Well, I won't really say it's a main event topic. It's just the last one. It was one that I think James threw up in our group earlier today. He showed this screenshot, and I'll read it because I have it like saved on my computer because I know how small that is.
I can read it, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Actually, it looks like I deleted it. My bad.
So it says,
just a reminder to the so-called WWE fans before Drew and Punk bracelet rivalry, AEW already had Statlander versus Willow. Solo versus Cody cage match, AEW had Swerve versus Adam Page. Bloodline versus DIY and the Street Profits, AEW had the Elite versus the BCC. Cody versus KO in a friendly match, AEW had Eddie Kingston versus Mark Briscoe a couple months back. You want to talk about Priest and Ripley, the Terror Twins? Look at the picture below. Now, I'm a fan of both companies. I just want all the hating to end and the effort of both Tony and Triple H appreciated.
Respect. He literally sounds like me where I just say, just enjoy wrestling. I mean, again, you got to really blur the lines. He did a lot of this, not necessarily this versus, not like apples versus oranges, but this and that. It wasn't like one outdid the other, but there's a similar theme here. You figure about, again, personal grudges and them finally being settled. Now, truth be told, one was over a bracelet, the other one was literally over a friendship, but that's a whole different conversation. You figure about, again, a mixed match force of terror. John Moss and Maria Shafir, I mean, you unleash those two, good luck to anybody that stands in their way. And so far, Shafir right now literally has been the force to be reckoned with. You also got to consider, again, the length of a cage match and the personal bad blood that is spilled in there. I like that. He made a lot of great comparisons there of this and that have happened across both companies, because there's criticisms and then there's positive analysis. And everything that's been bad, if you want to call it that, or questionable from both companies and their promoters and promotions, there's been a lot of good. And as somebody that only focuses on the good, kudos to that wrestling fan. I absolutely agree. And again, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Never been a greater time to be a fan of the wrestling business. WWE and AEW, again, are at my forefront, though I also look at all things wrestling. And my scope of professional wrestling goes a lot further than most people because I'm not just looking at stuff domestically. But yeah, I like that a lot. I think it was fair what he did there. What was your take?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I hate when people do comparisons like that because more often than not, people turn it into well, they're just copying.
Yeah.
But I feel like this guy did it objectively enough. And it's like, well, they have this, they have this. It's very much the same type of thing. So if you enjoy this company's presentation, why can't you enjoy this company doing the same thing?
Yeah.
The only one of those things that I feel like WWE had first was the whole Priest and Rhea doing the Terror Twins, and now here come Mox and Marina. But I definitely agree as far as the fact that, the other bullet points on there, AEW did, and then WWE did their version. And it's like, it's the old anything you can do, I can do better.
Well, that's been shit, honestly.
And that's the way this business needs to be.
Agree.
Without everybody getting all booty jumbled about, ooh, copycat.
They did it better.
If you see a company do something, you should be looking at it, and especially if it's a great angle, a great match, be like, okay, how can we do that but make it better?
Yeah.
Coke and Pepsi.
There's a
Skippy
reason.
and Jeff.
Yeah, there's a reason. Dedicated audiences.
Yeah. Cocoa Pebbles, Cocoa Krispies. They're the same fucking cereal.
They are.
You know what I mean? It's
I
like,
was trying to
how
find
could
a
we
distinction.
do it better?
I was trying to find a distinction, but I couldn't.
One's got 3 midgets, one's got the Flintstones. That's your distinction. The mascots.
Damn.
You got Snap, Crackle, and Pop, and you got Fred and Barney.
That's fair.
That's your distinction. That's how you tell them apart.
Well, yeah, I mean, Kellogg's.
They both come in brown boxes. They both look the same once you pour them. Stop me when I'm telling lies.
No lies detected. I can't tell last time I had a bowl of cereal, but no lies detected. I mean, I haven't mixed Coca-Cola and Pepsi together because I'm more of a Pepsi product guy. Case in point, Mountain Dews for life.
Same here.
But I do understand. Damn it. I do understand. Oh, Lordy. Where you're
the one place where I'll give Coke the one up is when it comes to cherry Coke versus wild cherry Pepsi.
All right. I barely ever drink cherry pop unless it's the Faygo Red, but I'll give you that. I had wild cherry Pepsi at one point, but I'm pretty sure I had the cherry Coke and I did find it better. And dang it, Emmanuel did freaking PayPal chat me real quick. But before we move on, bottom line, respect to that fan. He has the simple man's approval and mindset and respect because at the end of the day, just enjoy wrestling. And hey, if one company can do this, why can't somebody else try and do it bigger, better, maybe more fun too, or more violent? Jesus Christ, those Swerve Stringer and him and Adam Page. That was one of the damnedest things I've ever seen. I've seen death matches in Japan with razor blades. Anyway, anything you want to add before I address Emmanuel?
No, we pretty much covered that one. So go ahead and take care of Emmanuel's, and then we'll get to Arlene's.
God bless you, Dominguez. I'll look forward to seeing you on Super Predicting for WWE once again. Emmanuel PayPal'd me and said, I will keep them out undisclosed. Tell JJ Emmanuel wanted you to tell, he wants me to say what grinds my gears. I mean, what do you want me to start? I already ranted about freaking English language, Oxford Dictionary. Talk about the damn economy. Talk about burgers that are square versus circle one time with James. I mean, what grinds my gears? I mean, what is this? A freaking Family Guy segment? I've actually seen that YouTube clip. All right, let me see if I could try and turn this into a quick little thing. You know what really grinds my gears? The economy. How can you get away with the fact that you can spend $60 on 9 hours of entertainment for a console, and yet you can't spend $60 to provide your family a meal for a week? When my dad was a wee lad, and he was also young, he told me all the time about what you could buy with literally just $1 nowadays, where you're lucky to be able to buy a can of pop for your local convenience store. And the fact of the matter is that they literally don't care and they continue to get away from it. If I had $1 for every time my mom told me how much something cost at the grocery store versus what it used to cost, I would have enough to buy a video game and food for my family, how much she's ranted and complaining. And the fact of the matter that it's only getting worse from here. You expect me to continue to pay $60 on to $70 for a minor form of entertainment where they could do so much more with that money, and you're justifying the cost by doing the same thing with the market? What the hell are you doing, U.S. government? You're trying to literally say that there's two classes in America. You're either poor or you're rich. There is no middle class. And that's what really grinds my gears. That was stupid. I'm not doing that shit again.
That was good.
Thank you, though, Emmanuel. That was completely off the top of my head, too, because, again, what the fuck's going on with this economy? It's a whole different conversation. Also, fuck you to monetization. That being said, you got something from Arlene.
Yes, she $5 super chat from Arlene. Thank you very much. She says, I would just like to remind people that me and JJ were the first to predict Randy turning heel based on Cody joining forces with Roman.
I saw Randy come back and team with Kevin Owens. There's still unfinished business about a legacy once created and whether or not Cody Rhodes deserves to lead this dynasty. But now we're with the only tribal chief and the American Nightmare. What the hell's happening?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Now, I was watching SmackDown last night after I got home from work, and I lost the last hour. It was a 3-hour special broadcast. I only got the first 2 hours. So I don't know what happened after the Roman and Cody segment. Did he turn heel last night? Or is this just a keep your eyes peeled because we think it's coming type of post, Arlene?
Never trust a viper. Just saying.
Or a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
Austin's whole slogan was DTA, don't trust anyone.
And again, Jake the Snake Roberts, literally, I'm a snake. So, I mean, again, when he spoke, you listened, but you didn't know whether to trust him, even though he always told you to trust him. Few people learn that the hard way. Hello, Ultimate Warrior. But anyway, no more grind gears freaking super chats, man, on Arlene. Good grief. I'll freaking rant about women's wrestling next and chastise the WWE again if you're not careful. Anyway, all right. So I think we've covered everything up to this point. Dadgum.
Yeah.
I'm going to just be quiet because I don't want to say anything else or say anything else or delay say anything else. So, JJ, just do your thing. I'm just going to sit here and
I will start to go in the shills, and if we get any other super chats, then we do, and if we don't, we don't. Okay, she's saying she hasn't watched it either. Just be on the lookout for the turn. Okay.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I don't watch those. I literally do highlights. And again, 3 hour. Oh God, if the SmackDown becomes the new 3-hour show on USA, it's happening all over again. Anyway, continue, JJ.
I hope not. I've heard that as a rumor, but I hope not.
Same. Please, for the love of God, same. The only thing that matters 3 hours is pay-per-views, not your crappy mid-level television shit with commercials. No, stop it. No. Enough. It's the longest I've been freaking conversative in my freaking whole life. Outside of predictions.
They are not here, but we'll go ahead and we will shill for James, who's over doing the UFC watch along. You can find the Jay Hebert side of things in Jay Hebert Studios on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, or the X at Jay Hebert Side 95. On Facebook at James Hebman Hebert. And you can find Walter Cruz on YouTube, Rage of Wrestling, Instagram, Cal Fire Farms, and Twitter X at Walter Alex Cruz. Again, shout out to him and James for covering the UFC watch along for us. I don't follow UFC, so I would be a horrible person to have do watch along coverage there, but I am looking forward to the next time when I can put the headset on next to you, which it looks like will be Grand Slam.
Let's freaking go.
I don't think there's anything between now and then. We've had everything for the month. We already had All Out. We don't have anything for WWE until Bad Blood.
Thank Christ.
We just had Victory Road. So yeah, Grand Slam and the CW premiere are the next things that we've got. So looking forward to that. Noah, tell everybody where you can be found.
That's not about me. It's about wrestling. But people can find me if they choose on the Twitter and on YouTube. I'm in Foster 9016 for all things wrestling. Shout out to ADW family. Community tabs, you can keep up with Prediction League updates and also give you on Simple 7 for the biggest shows in the business as I host the Predicting and, of course, continue to be the voice here of the now Christian Reliable Network. And I guess co-host as of late now with Saturday Shenanigans, your two-man show specials that happen out of nowhere once in the blue moon. Whether or not this is something that happens with UFC shows, stay tuned. And again, I only wish to encourage just your life and enjoy wrestling too. And I'll probably do the main close at the end of this thing. So let's go ahead. Damn it!
Well, yeah, apparently October 5th is going to be a busy night as we're going to have the Bad Blood PLE and UFC has a watch along. So it may just be a simple two-man show once again, or if more people are around because of the PLE, we may have more panelists. But
there's two men running the show, and then there's two VIPs. The Dominguez says funding and guiding the show and extending it. So there you go.
Hey, and I'm never gonna hate on the Dominguez or as Datilla likes to call them because they're Hispanic, Los Dominguez
Olay.
Emmanuel with a $2 super chat. When do you see Charlotte and Jimmy coming? Honestly, I'm surprised we didn't get either one of them last night on the premiere of USA.
Same. I'm surprised I didn't see a clip regarding them, especially with that. I was thinking that he was going to show up in the steel cage along with Roman. I was thinking freaking Roman and Jimmy versus Solo and Jacob after Cody beat the man at SummerSlam, saying that he was done with him. But I guess I was wrong. But at this point, I'm just going to put it out there. Survivor Series War Games for both.
I think we'll see Jimmy before that. Charlotte, I think they could kind of pull off what they did with Randy Orton last year and kind of announce him on the Go Home show. You know, announce Charlotte on the Go Home show to Survivor Series that she's going to be a member of the team. I could see them doing that with her. Jimmy, I think, needs to come back beforehand.
Especially if
I think we'll see Jimmy. I think we'll see Jimmy at Bad Blood.
I could see that, honestly. And imagine Jimmy, Cody, and Roman together. What the hell is freaking 2024? Because you got to remember, Survivor Series War Games is the last main roster PLE of the year 2024. As far as those rosters go, there is nothing in December, which I think is the wisest move ever.
Yeah, for the main roster, because we know we'll have deadline for NXT.
Yeah, you have to. Gotta have the Iron Survivor Challenge.
And Christmas Day is a Wednesday this year, so there's no Raw, there's no SmackDown, there's no NXT.
Yeah.
So all of them can be home. I don't even think NXT will be live. NXT will probably be taped so that people can have Christmas Eve with their family.
Let's be honest. Nobody does anything live during Christmas week because that literally is the week you dedicate to your family, period.
But I could see Jimmy coming back at Bad Blood. I think Roman needs to start putting the team back together. And I think Jay needs to play hard to get.
Agree.
Especially if he gets the Intercontinental Championship.
That's a bold claim.
I'm just saying, if he can get it.
It'll be a second chance of going after it, to be fair, but it's also his first time going one-on-one against Braun Breaker, and that match has me extremely intrigued. Like I said, when it comes to the championships, the U.S., the Intercontinental, the World Heavyweight, and the WWE, I think they're definitely on the right type of people. I just wish they did better by the women, and speaking of women, Arlene did it again, this time to me.
Well, hold on a second, because I want to stay on this Braun Breaker Jey Uso for just a second, and Emmanuel did just send another one to the channel here. So
hell,
but we'll get to Arlene's first because you got it first.
Go for it.
I think the biggest key with this Jey Uso Braun Breaker thing is the fact that Braun has been stressing the point no member of your family has ever defeated a member of my family.
Oh,
I think that's the key for the seed they're planting about Jay dethroning him.
that's a really good throwback point. I didn't even think about that.
And then once he gets that championship, he's done something that he never did with Roman. He's finally a singles champion. Why do I need to take a step back to align with you?
Wait, but you're about to say I don't. We're always family, Oos, but I'm doing my own thing now. The only
And
other,
I'm more successful than I ever was with you.
yeah, but also Cody, when he last left Raw, he says we will yeet again. But right now he's been yeeting with Rhea Ripley, and so help me if the freaking bootleg Judgment Day cost Jey Uso this Intercontinental Championship match and freaking turns your storyline to a complete different segue. That's gonna piss me off.
Possibly.
But again, Triple H, he's got in the GPS, right? GPS will be like recalculating routes. He knows the destination he wants. It's just a matter of how you get there. And I think you and I literally just pointed out two different roads this can take. And I think one of those roads is very likely to happen. It's a matter of which
Fair.
one.
All right. What did Arlene send you?
You all are too much. Since no one wants the Dominguezes to donate, let's hear a rant about the women's division. Why do you do this? Okay. So where do I begin? Okay, so seriously, I'm gonna go John Oliver here. This is Simple Man Tonight. WWE, the premier women's division, they have the highest quality of talent on the planet. Yet here we have on Monday Night Raw, we have three legitimate MMA fighters doing absolutely nothing but trying to party after hours with two party girls, including one that decided to leave the party early and go back down to NXT. Here you have your women's champion right now in an affair with somebody that is younger than her, not named MJF, where she's not trying to go back to prison after the DUI situation freaking years ago, and here we have no other challenges but Rhea Ripley. Are you telling me that you only can literally come up with one challenger on a roster of 15 to actually be a valid candidate for a women's championship? And then on the other side, you have literally the inevitable waiting, but you can't do nothing else with the likes of Blair Davenport or anybody not named Bayley or Naomi. Here we have Tiffany, where everybody wants to be Tiffy time. No one wants to be Jack's time right now. Jack's time has ran its course. People want to see a Barbie, Mattel Seb, Tiffany Stratton holding that women's championship. And you're holding out for it as long as you can, just so Nia can lose to Charlotte Flair or vice versa. It's limited booking. The fact of the matter that NXT has over 20 women, and you literally have 5 different feuds right now, including interpromotional warfare. How can you not do the same structure on Raw and SmackDown? It's baffling to me when you consider how much talent you have and how much time you have. And the criticism that AEW women's division have is kind of irrelevant at this point, considering they are trying to put more attention into it. You could almost look at Ring of Honor being the mini version of NXT with how much depth they have going on there. Why is women's wrestling such a stagnant thing still to this day when it comes to WWE and the representation, the quality of their booking when outside of NXT is baffling to me, and everybody else is 15 steps ahead. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Athena, the most definitive champion. Jordan Grace, the most dominant champion. Roxanne, the most promising champion. Mariah May, a whole different type of champion, bringing glamour and now international drama to the main stage. And then there you have on SmackDown, literally an evil queen where everybody right now, nobody can seem to oppose her except for the one person that's alongside her. And all you have on Monday Night Raw is literally a one-night stand with a hooker and a golden belt as a choker. Why is women's championship such an undermined thing in WWE when it seems to be more of a valued commodity in the entire wrestling business is beyond me. Are you insane?
James, when you go back and watch this, I hope he has given you plenty of footage for the new intro. Just this evening alone, 2 rants.
By the way, you're welcome, Arlene.
2 solo shot rants at that, like perfectly framed, perfect for clipping.
He's gonna do the John Oliver thing where he's just gonna have like simple men and I on a white screen with black text. I know he's gonna do some dumb shit like that. And no, I don't work for HBO.
And you know what? Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't John Oliver the voice of Zazu in the live action Lion King? Maybe he could put like a little Zazu like floating around the rain as you're doing your John Oliver.
Damn it. Shout out to the first ever Disney movie I ever saw. That's a whole different rant that I'm not going to try and do when it comes to live action Disney shit. That's a whole different rant I am not trying to get on tonight. Stop paying me to rant.
Because it was Rowan Atkinson in the actual cartoon, which
yes, it was.
Mentioning Lion King, rest in peace, James Earl Jones, who passed away this week.
Even I understood. I saw that and I was like, that kind of hit me a little bit there. I saw that.
It doesn't matter what you're a fan of. James Earl Jones has had his hands in a number of different cookie jars. Darth Vader, Mufasa, The Sandlot, Field of Dreams, Coming to America, Roots. The list goes on and on and on. We could sit here for another hour and a half just talking about James Earl Jones' I know that Noah ain't trying to do that.
No, I'm not. We're not trying to go longer than 2 hours. I thought it was going to be 1 hour. And Killer Dominguez is literally like, I don't know if this is going to become a thing, but this definitely has been one conversation for the ages, to say the least. And it's not over yet.
We need a 2-hour show. Damn it.
Well, you got it. You're happy now, and you got me ranting twice with a headache about freaking economy and the freaking piss poor state of WWE women's wrestling booking, not name NXT.
And now because you said that you don't want them to do it, someone's going to super chat for you to rant about live action Disney movies.
No, I don't have much to say about that because I'm not trying to hurt I'm not trying to hurt Generation C, even though you all lack discipline and a freaking brain. Freaking live action bullshit trying to run an IP into the ground. Okay, seriously, stop it. Besides,
all right, well, we did get another super chat from Emmanuel for $3 who wants to know who is dethroning Jordan Grace for the TNA Knockouts Championship. See, that's a tough one because much like Dattila, I really thought this was going to be Giselle Shaw's year.
Same.
Which she just left to go join her boyfriend Scott D'Amore running Maple Leaf Pro.
That show's looking awesome, by the way. I can't wait for that.
So that ain't happening. So the question now becomes, to do my New Day impression, who? And believe it or not, I feel like the primed number one contender is Alicia Edwards. I still feel that dumping the belts, using the neck brace, getting the tag titles off of her and Masha is all to get her towards the Knockouts title. Think about it. You've already got Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers got the tag titles back.
Damn it.
You get her the Knockouts title, and then you can have JDC go after the X Division title, and Moose try to reclaim the world title. Or you've got her and Tasha Steelz, the Boricua Badass, based off of what happened at Victory Road. Looks like they could be coming back at Spitfire to get the titles, and they just wanted to get Masha out of it.
Masha, literally, again, still owes Jordan Grace a receipt because Masha Slamovich, who I fought for the longest time, was a future TNA Knockouts champion a couple of years ago. It was Jordan Grace that shattered her undefeated streak, and she faced her twice for the Knockouts championship in her previous run before the Virtuosa. Deonna Purrazzo, of course, won that title back after it was vacated by Mickie James, and Mickie James beat Jordan Grace at that Hard to Kill show. Man, how things have really changed.
And here's some real fantasy booking, Noah, so buckle in with your pen. What if we turn Julia into the belt collector and you give her the Knockouts and the NXT title?
I can see that. I would like that a lot. I seriously would like that a lot. Honestly, I saw the face-to-face. I need Julia and Jordan Grace in a TNA ring, please. But I also do think, again, if it's going to be somebody to beat Jordan Grace, it's got to be somebody that surprised her, maybe. I do think they also are going to probably look at within the TNA ecosystem. We talked about a couple of people that, again, have been champions at all. The TNA Knockouts World Champion, my slam is Alicia Edwards. I hold out for the Mother Effing King, Kylan King, to once again get back in the horse's saddle and maybe call her shot if she returns at Bound for Glory. I mean, somebody could literally surprise Jordan Grace out of nowhere with the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. It was Jordan Grace that won the Call Your Shot Gauntlet last year at Bound for Glory that allowed her to challenge Trinity this year at TNR to Kill to get the title back in the first place. So it really could be anybody. But if I was to pick somebody right now in the business to try and oppose her and take that title from her, you got to match her power for power. You got to outsmart her. Your Alicia one right now is right up there for me. But I think after that subtle face-to-face, I really want to see Julia and Jordan Grace tear each other apart and Julia to give the upset. And then bring that title over on NXT and represent both interpromotionally. Because they wouldn't do that with Roxanne, or it doesn't seem like they're going to do that with Roxanne, even though Jordan Grace stays in Roxanne for the NXT Championship. Jury's still out there that she should have won that. I still believe that. But Julia being with WWE, winning the Knockouts World Championship to confronting Jordan Grace while having the NXT Women's Championship, that's interpromotion history. So, yeah, I think Alicia Edwards and Julia are a top tier. Optimistic, Masha Slamovich and Kylan King. I know somebody last night thought Megan Bain would be a great idea to sign to TNA. And I definitely like that idea, the Megasis. But that's more of a holdout rather than an actual thing happening. Because, again, there's not many people right now that can match Jordan Grace. Power for power.
No, definitely. All right, getting back to the shills. You can find me on Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams, Twitter, ROWJJ Williams, YouTube, the Casa D18 Studios. Jeff is not here today because he was attending a longtime mutual friend's baby shower. Congratulations to Liana. And then he will be back for sure for the 90s country karaoke night, which will be in 2 weeks, the 28th. Next week will just be a standard open mic night episode. Saturday Shenanigans, well, as standard as we get around here, I mean.
What is standard?
Standard, when I say a standard show, I mean it's just going to be topics and antics. You never know. The specials are the karaoke ones,
Right.
Otherwise, it's a standard show. There's topics, there's insanity, there's Los Domingos is in the chat room making us keep going, which, by the way, Emmanuel says thanks for the 2-hour show.
You're welcome. Thank you, as always. This is the simple show. This is the simple special, apparently. Two-man booth. Good grief.
And then the only other thing that I'm going to shill is be on the lookout, because once it drops and I have an opportunity to watch and take my notes, I will be reviewing the Mr. McMahon documentary, 6 hours on Netflix.
Lord help anyone's mentality.
So if you want to make sure that you get it while it's still a hot topic issue, subscribe to the members only section of the Casa D18 Studios channel. It will come to the regular side eventually, but members will get to see it first. I don't have a set for it, but they'll definitely get it a good 30 to 45 days before I drop it on the main channel. So by the time it hits the main stuff, it's not going to be topical anymore. Everyone will have discussed it by that point.
Yeah, people are going to be on that like wildfire.
Exactly. So if you want to know what I have to say while it's relevant, then you want to make sure you're on the members only section, which is only $5 a month to subscribe. Cheaper than a footlong at Subway, because they don't even got the $5 footlongs anymore.
Nope. Nope. Gonna restrain myself.
Well, if you want to know what a rant about $5
no,
footlongs,
No.
you know what to do.
Stop.
He says, Emmanuel says, I don't know that many country songs, but we'll let faith decide who will sing. There you go.
The freaking wheel. The wheel is evil. The wheel still is against me to this day. I blame the wheel for everything.
Speaking of the wheel, let me go ahead and bring it up because I want you to see what I did this time. It's kind of hard to see everything because I literally have all the artist names on the wheel this time.
What in the name of?
What I figured we would do is we would see who who has to sing. Then we'd spin the wheel, and whatever artist comes up, they get to pick a song from that artist. So, for example,
Randy Travis.
Let's see who comes up on this random spin.
Yeah, to see if I actually recognize the artist. I'll catch him.
Okay, so Hal Ketchum was a 90s artist. He only had a couple of big hits. He had Mama Knows the Highway, Small Town Saturday Night.
Yeah, he's one
Both were pretty big songs in the early 90s.
But he's one of those rare artists that you don't really take into account of this era. Dang it,
exactly, a forgotten gem, so to speak.
Yeah, go back to your show.
Clay Walker. Another one, early 90s, had a couple of big hits. What's It to You, Dreaming with My Eyes Wide Open, Live Until I Die.
Spinning the wheel here. George. Oh, there's my guy. There's one of my guys. George Strait.
Oh, yeah, the King of Country.
You damn fucking right. Alabama. Dolly
I actually
Parton.
got to see George Strait on The Cowboy Rides Away tour.
Oh,
him and Martina McBride.
Lucky, damn it, lucky. All right, there's actually, like I said, you actually picked something that really hits my heart and spirit positive. I'm kind of looking forward to this, but I still say the wheel's evil. I will be on my Switch and pray the wheel has mercy on me. Damn it.
Well, just remember, she can always pay the $15 to single you out and then let the wheel determine your fate as far as artists.
Dadgummit! The things I do for friends.
The 3 tiers of donations. For those of you out there that have never seen one of our karaoke spectaculars before, a $5 super chat or donation to our PayPals. We spin the wheel to see who will sing. We spin the wheel to see what artist we will be singing from. $15 donation. You pick who will sing. We spin the wheel to see what artist will be singing. A $25 donation. You pick who sings, and you pick what song we sing. But it has to be from 90s country. Can't freaking say, oh, do nothing but a G thing. It's 90s, but it's not country. You can't pop in there and be like, oh, do Luke Bryan. He's country, but he's not 90s.
No, he's current.
It has to be 90s country.
Damn right. Stay on topic, stay on genre. Things I do for friends. My daddy. All right.
Walter popped in real quick, says, hey guys, still got to go through the main event. This is crazy. Just
what's crazy?
Say, hi, we love you, the UFC show.
Say this or the fact that 2 men just did a simple 2-hour show, and I put simple in quotations.
And Emmanuel says that Hal Ketchum must be related to Ash Ketchum. I understand that reference.
That's a whole nother rant just waiting to happen when it comes to the fact you could literally put eyes and color on an object and call it a Pokemon. The
question is what was Hal Ketchum's starter Pokemon? Because we know Ash had Pikachu.
I'm not even going to try and go that road because you're just going to get me started again.
Well, I will go with the obvious route and be like, since Hal Ketchum was a singer, he had Jigglypuff. I love Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is a spirit animal, man. Sing beautifully, put people to sleep, and then you throw a temper tantrum because people fell asleep during your performance and you draw all over them. That is such a mood right there.
That is one of the banes of existence. Just saying. Damn it.
But yeah, so
Yu-Gi-Oh for life.
we've got that coming up. And then, like I said, our next watch alongs will be Grand Slam and the CW premiere of NXT. So make sure you guys tune in for that. We appreciate everybody joining us for this simple 2-hour edition of the Saturday Night Shenanigans.
The two-man show.
Noah, go ahead and take us out of here, good sir.
This has been the simple two-man show of Saturday Shenanigans. We thank you all once again for your viewership and patronage. Again, if you want to know more about me, why I endure this madness, why we continue to demonstrate this passion, know this, for I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fun of professional wrestling. Damn it. Only wish to encourage you and remind you there are no winners, no losers, no betters. Just fans of opinions with this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families, just enjoy life, even if you rant about it, and enjoy professional wrestling. It's truly as simple as that. With that, we'll see you next time.
Say goodnight, Datilla.
Oh, good night.
Datilla, they're coming!